Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 289 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Sip of coffee. Life is good. Life is always good. Every day above ground is a good day. I can't remember which motivational speaker taught me this, but it was one of the early days of personal development when I used to go to events. I don't go to very many live events anymore. They don't have very many live events anymore since COVID, or at least not the ones that I choose to go to. But I should remember who it was because I carried his card around with me in my wallet literally for 15 years, maybe longer, because it had a bunch of affirmations on it that were excellent. Anyway, he always said, any day above ground is a good day. And I would have to echo that, especially after 2010 when I had sudden cardiac arrest. Well, today, day 289, we are talking about, of course, physical health and well-being. And our topic is diet and nutrition. And I don't like the word diet. Why? It's got die in it. Nobody wants to die. And when we're sacrificing and giving things up to be on a strict diet, I don't know about you, but it never feels good to me. And I've been one of those people that's gone on just about every diet that's come down the pipe, right? Definitely a yo-yo dieter in my 20s. I didn't do anything until my 20s. And then it was because I was sick and I had a bunch of medications that caused me to lose weight up and down, up and down, up and down. And then I would diet and exercise and do things along with that. In college, I went on a protein only, remember, liquid protein diet. And all I ate for like 35 days before a dance I wanted to go to because I wanted to get rid of that. By then I was a sophomore, but sophomore 20 or 15, it's the freshman 15, the sophomore 20, and you just keep adding up. If you don't make good choices in the cafeteria, at least that was my experience. So diet and nutrition is an interesting topic for me. I dive in and out of it depending on what's going on in my life. In 2017, it was the last time I had a big, I got to look into nutrition and figure this out kind of event going on in my life. I had just gotten my certification in ClickFunnels and flew out after being in Idaho to see my daughter and my then son. Were they married? Yeah, they were married. My daughter and son-in-law in Colorado. And for some reason, when I was in Colorado, my body had a massive kind of like physical pain explosion. And I could not walk. I remember sitting in the airport to fly home and literally crying. And I wasn't crying on purpose, just tears from the pain were rolling down my cheeks. And some little girl, or young lady, she wasn't a little girl, but came over and said, well, can I pray for you? Because there's obviously something going on. And flew home, went to the doctor, got steroids, made me worse, didn't take them. And then started asking and researching online and saying, okay, what can I do? And one of my good friends, Cheryl, gave me an introduction to eating for your blood type. And I don't know if that works for other people, but it definitely worked for me. Within a couple weeks, I was not 100%, but I was back to, I could go for a walk every day. I could get out of bed. I could do more than just crawl to the bathroom. I was actually back to functioning. And that's the last, I'm going to do this diet. But really, I've switched it over to be a lifestyle thing. I think that dieting doesn't work because it's a short-term thing. And as soon as we quit, we gain the weight back. So for me personally, and this might not work that way for you, but it sure does for me, I need to create new habits and good habits that nourish my body, my mind, my soul, everything in terms of the food selections that I make. Now, I don't always make good food selections, right? I love double stuffed Oreos. I love caramels. Caramels are, if I'm addicted to anything, it's probably to caramels. So I need to choose wisely when I will and what I'm going to do. And our food choices and our diet and our nutrition, or lack thereof, why we talked about supplements yesterday, is, I almost say, more important than exercise. Now, I'm sure the gurus and the experts would say you are crazy. And for me personally, I need to keep moving because I've had arthritis since my 20s. And I learned a long time ago, it hurts a lot in the morning, but as soon as I get moving and get rolling, I'm okay. I have to work through that little peak of pain. And then after that, everything feels better because it loosens up and you get moving again. So I think that it's more our choices and our habits that will dictate how much nutrition we're actually getting, right? Okay, so what are we doing today? We are going to ask ourselves am I actually getting the nutrition I need? Am I eating the foods and making the choices that are right for me? It doesn't matter what anybody else says. It doesn't matter what any expert says. It doesn't even matter what your doctor says. You know what is right for you or not. I know if I eat ice cream, as much as I love ice cream, I'm gonna feel yucky at night. I'm gonna either have a bad night's sleep or I'm gonna wake up in the morning with a total tummy ache. Why? Because I don't know whatever's in ice cream nowadays, but it does not agree with my system. And I'll still do it once in a while because I love ice cream and I love eating ice cream with the granddaughters, but I also know that I'm going to pay for that in some way or another. So I don't make that choice very often. So are you on any type of special diet or nutrition? Are you following your own plan and making things a habit and ritualistic for you? I shared when we did just yesterday supplements that I drink a protein shake every morning. I wake up, I have water as soon as I wake up. I drink a protein shake and take my vitamins while I'm getting ready in the morning. And that sets the whole tone for the rest of my day. But you have to figure out what works for you. And again, we ebb and flow. There's so many different diets out there. I'm not an expert, not even going to pretend to be. Everybody, all of us are different, right? What works for me might not work for you. Hey, in college, it worked for me. I think I lost 35 pounds and was real skinny on that liquid protein diet. Would I go on it today or again? No, absolutely not. It was probably one of the dumbest things I did. But when I wasn't having to worry about going to the cafeteria and things for that 35 days, my grades got better because I was able to focus on my schoolwork instead of having to worry about what to eat. That's part of why I like to have habits. When I lived on my own, it was easy to have, this is breakfast, this is lunch, this is supper. And then I would vary certain parts. But for the most part, I knew what I was eating or going to eat every day, at least for a week at a time. And to me, that made life easier. I didn't want to spend a ton of time when I lived by myself prepping and making food for myself, right? Because you spend an hour making it or more, and then like 10, 15 minutes eating it. And then you're like, okay, all that work gone. And then we go to the bathroom and it's gone anyway. So today, think about your diet. Think about nutrition. I want to call it nutrition because I don't want to diet. I don't want to call it diet. Been there, done that. Not going to do it again until I'm ready to leave. Any questions about this? Hit me up. I probably would not advise you on anything diet-wise, but I can hook you up with somebody that's an expert if that's what you need. All right. Any questions? I gotcha. Have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.